Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to be doing the A rank easy guide for Smart Falcon. Smart Falcon was one of those 3-star poll characters. I believe she still has a banner up, and I know a lot of people decided not to get her, but she is a relatively good dirt runner, and I like to use her for my PvP team. She really needs some good power and speed in order to get to the A rank, but also to complete her races. She will also need a little bit of stamina. It's one of those racers that as long as you have good stamina, you don't really have to worry about guts all that much. And mainly throughout this career, we're gonna touch on wit a little bit, but that is mainly going to be for energy, and we're gonna focus mainly on getting that speed as high as we can. She's got a little bit of a unique career path. The races are a little spread out, and some of the requirements are a little different than just get third, just get first, like some of the other Umas that you may be used to. So let's go ahead and pick our legacy characters. Since we're going to want to have good speed and power, we're going to choose our best legacy characters with speed and power sparks, and we're also going to choose our standard, if you've watched any of the previous videos, I'll call it our standard 3 wit, 3 speed support card deck. This is just a great build overall for short distance runners, as that allows us to get our speed up as high as possible while still maintaining a lot of energy and not having to rest throughout the game. So as we do our first trainings here, just like most of our sprinters, we're going to really focus on getting these friendship bonuses up. We want to also kind of prioritize some of the stamina training, just because we don't want to get our speed and power all the way up as high as it can be, and then at the end or middle of our career path, we're going to, fail a race just because we didn't have quite as much stamina as we would like. So as you can see there, if we are choosing between a skill that has 3 stacks on speed and stamina, we're going to prioritize the stamina just because we want to rank that up early game. That way we can focus on the speed and power and wit for our late game rainbow training. The dialogue options for her, I am just going to pick the ones that seem as if they might give her the most stamina options. See, we're still focusing on the friendship training, but prioritizing stamina if need be. As we get a little bit lower in our energy, instead of cranking it into wit like we might have with Haru or Sakura, we are going to take a rest here. Because of her odd schedule, we really don't want to risk failing this early on and getting a mood down. So we had 2 on speed there. We do want to get Kita Black up as high as possible, just like any other career path, because her bonuses are amazing, and it's just good to have her at rainbow training as quickly as possible. So as you see, as we head into our junior debut, we are getting pretty high up there with our support card friendship levels, but we're also fortunately not having to rest all that much, which makes a really big difference because a rest is a turn wasted if you can still put that into wit. So we are going to have her listed as a front runner. You'll probably notice that we make a lot of our racers front runners. This time around, she actually is a natural front runner, so we're just not going to change that at all. You can really only bank on changing that at all if late game you come across a longer race and for some reason you're not quite getting there and you're a little bit low on stamina. Moving it back to a pace chaser can sometimes solve that issue for you. So we can train. We don't really want to risk a 12% on wit there. I know that's not very high, but we'd rather have the energy and then get a good stack on either speed or stamina in the next turn. We are a little bit low on our normal mood, and sometimes Kitasen Black can give mood ups when you select her options, especially when she has the skill hint. This time it doesn't look like we got any sort of mood up, but we do have a rainbow training, but it's only one rainbow training, so we are going to do the mood up because we want the skill point bonuses. We're fortunate enough to get the karaoke and get our double mood up all the way to great. I believe it's a 20% bonus in skill points, or not skill points, but skill level points. We have 4 on Guts. Again, we aren't aiming to train Guts, and we aren't really going to put any effort into training Guts, but when we have a 4 stack like that, it's very hard to pass up on. So we do have a rainbow training. We're about middle of the road with our energy, and we do have to have 2 first place in the pre-op races. So we'll put a little bit into stamina there. Not sure what these dialogue options do, but that one sounded like it might give me some energy back, so I'll select that one. The bottom option here will sometimes give us a mood up and some energy. Other times it'll take away 20 energy, but I haven't had it give me a mood down, I don't believe. So no real good options there. We will take a rest to get some of that energy back because we want to be training stacked support card skill options. None there, but we had good energy, so we'll take the speed. There we got 2 speeds. Our 3rd speed's on there as well, so, you know, we're getting her up to near the 80% where we'll be able to do rainbow training with all 3, and that's when we get the really big stacks and start cranking on those skill points for speed. So throughout most of the races in career with Smart Falcon, we're not going to really struggle to get first place all that much. As we get a little farther in, I'll point out the ones that are a little bit longer and that we may actually want to buy some skills ahead of time. We have 3 turns to finish our first place in the pre-ops. And she is dirt sprinter. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, dirt sprints are very rare. I believe the only other dirt sprinter I have on my team is Haru, and she's decent, but Smart Falcon wins most of mine in the PvP section. She's just an all-around better runner, at least from the one that I've trained. I'm sure you can get a good Haru. Alright, so we'll let her have some fun, and I believe that'll give us some energy back. Rainbow Train Wit, get some energy back, and also get a little bit of speed points. Sleep, get some energy back. If you're seeing a pattern, we're really doing all the options that will allow us to get some energy back. Here, again, we got a 5 stack on Guts, and 2 of them are very close to Rainbow Training. So we're going to select that there. We have 5 turns to the Satsuki Show. I'm about middle of the way for stamina or energy. I keep mixing up stamina and energy, but we do want to have the most energy possible going into both the beach training and for whenever we get good stacks like that. We do need 64 fans, which is an annoying amount because if we had a better support card that would have just been achieved with the previous race, but that's where it's at, so we'll do 1 race. That should give us as many fans as we need practically for any of the other career races. I don't believe we will have any issue with having to take extra races for fans going forward. Alright, so we do have some friendship bonuses with director Arikawa and the reporter coming up. And those are nice. We don't want to focus on them and prioritize them over good skill options, mainly because they give bonuses at the end, but, you know, director, you'll get, I think, 15 in each skill, and then the reporter, if you max her out, you get 5 to 10 in each skill, if I'm remembering correctly. And ultimately, that's not as good as, you know, if you're skipping out on a skill stack that's going to give you 64 points in speed or something like that. It's just not worth it because you want to have one of the skills, which is normally going to be speed, all the way up to SS and or higher. So we are going to rest going into the Japanese Derby so we can get some more training in. She's looking pretty good as far as stats go. I believe the Japanese Derby is one of the longer races within this career, so we may take a look at the skills. But 209, we're going to try to get that stamina up as high as possible while still, you know, getting our speed maxed out. And training speed trains power pretty significantly, so we don't really have to focus on training power all that much individually. So I'm fairly confident we'll do fine here at the Japanese Derby. We got first place, no problem. If you do struggle at the Japanese Derby, you might want to try just switching it over to a pace chaser or even a late if it's still giving you issues, and that may make up for the stamina lack. So we'll do wit training there. I believe all of but one of our support cards after that are going to be in the rainbow trading range, which means from here on out it's going to be whether or not we get lucky enough to have them stack up to get us the points we need in order to achieve A rank. I'm sure if you've gotten an A rank before, you know that kind of is how it plays out sometimes. There's no guaranteed way, but there are ways to kind of make sure that it's going to play more in your favor by choosing the right legacy characters and support cards. Low energy. Ooh, that's rough. Okay, so we're gonna choose a top option there just because I always choose the top option there. The bottom option risks a debuff. I believe you can get a debuff with the top option too, but I've had more luck with the top option. Get some energy back with the wit, and now we want to start training speed. Because basically at this point with our current inspiration coming up, if we get speed up to SS, it will almost certainly mean that power by default will be an A. And then we'll want one other skill. In this case, it's most likely going to be wit up to a B. It's the SAB, as I refer to it as. If you have a S max and then an A and a B, you're pretty much guaranteed to have an A rank character. Alright, good skill points. Notice that we haven't bought any skill yet. We are saving them. The longer that we hold out on those, the higher the discounts will be when we go into the skill shop, and that just means we'll ultimately be able to purchase more skills, which benefits our total career score. So double speed, that's a good stack. I prefer the triple speeds, but you take what you get. And single speed, 3 on wit, but we do have the King, is that King Halo? With the skill point. Tokyo Daishoten, it's only 1,200 or 2,000 meters. Anything under 2,400, I'm not that concerned about with our current stats. Anything above 2,400, I'll kind of review whether or not I want to buy a energy skill, something like Stamina, Recovery, Swinging Maestro, Gourmand, depending on what support characters you choose. Either of those may or may not be an option. I believe we have Super Creek, so I think we have Swinging Maestro on this career playthrough. But it's pretty unnecessary. It does give good career points, so at the end of the day, we may end up taking it, depending on what our skill points are looking like. So we got 2 turns. We don't have a double stack on the speed, so we'll switch over to training wit there, because we do want to get wit up to B rank if possible. Alright, so 1,600 meters shouldn't be an issue. Keep keep her at the front runner, and we got first place, no problem. Alright, 7 days until the Teo show. Training, and we love to see that. A 51 stack on speed. That's always fantastic. Anything over 40 is always a great skill bonus, and it feels so good, especially if you have your energies. And you don't want the energy to get too low, because there's nothing more disappointing than having a 60 plus stack on speed and not being able to do it because your energy's too low. And that has happened to me many times. Alright, so we got our inspiration there. Not fantastic, 54-29, but still decent enough. I think we are on pretty good track to get the A rank this run. 26 on wit, we'll take it. The reason that we are still doing wit but not training up power, even though we want power to be higher ranked than wit at the end of the day, is because wit will also give small bonuses to speed, and the small speed bonuses are very much worth it as they do add up throughout the career. I don't see why not. Gives a +5 wit bonus. 42, love to see it. Training, we didn't really have any stacks on any of our desired skills, but they're already all the way up to rainbow training, so we will train wit there. And our stats are looking pretty good at this point. I don't think we'll need to train stamina at all. We should be able to get over the hump here. $2,000 meters shouldn't be a problem. Alright, so that is another first place. We're probably not going to get up to the top of the pyramid on this one, but that doesn't really matter all that much. I like to hit the legendary if we can, but we're not taking any additional races here. We got the beach, low energy, not great mood, so we are going to rest and brag here. We'll do the power just for the skill hint since we don't really have good options on the other two. Another skill hint on wit. A 39 on speed's gonna be... We're kind of low on energy, so we'll take the skill hint on wit. Probably should have done the speed there, but I think we'll be set. 39? Excellent, 39 on wit, and we should be getting that up to B here pretty soon, no problem. So we got a 45, definitely not going to pass up a 45 even if it is on wit. So at this point, yeah, we're pretty much guaranteed the A rank Uma at this point because we're going to get over 40 bonus points in each skill for completing the Final Championships, and we are looking solid here. We're gonna have speed even if we didn't do any training from here on out. Speed would definitely cap over into S, power would cap over into A, and wit's already at B. So it's kind of smooth sailing from here. So we'll just keep training what we can and definitely avoiding any sort of status ailments. So no high risks at this point. Alright, so we got our G1 Champions Cup, and then I believe after this we will be going into the URA Finals. And that should be no problem for us. I think we've won first place in almost every single race. So our fan base should be looking pretty solid, so we may get her special skill to level up. And it looks like this takes place on the same day. Yep, there's our special skill leveling up to 3. And this is just another 2,000 meter race. Shouldn't be an issue. Okay, excellent. So we are all the way up to Platinum so far. Again, that's really not that big of a deal if we're focusing solely on getting these A-rank characters, and our stats are looking fantastic. So going into the finals here, we'll train what we can, but we won't really be taking any big risks, and we are just gonna wait until we get over to the skill selection pretty much, because we're looking good. We'll do a wit here, I believe that's going to be the best option. Yep. 0% risk is no risk at all. Should be completely fine in the qualifier. Oh boy, I am tired. I've been doing this for a long time today. So we're going to be getting plus 12 after each one of these finals races, which is why I was saying we were looking pretty good for power there. See how that naturally got itself up over A rank there. So now we have our SAB, and if we have the opportunity to do one more speed training, we will. Excellent. We got the plus 52 there, putting us over to 1135. Over 1100, we do have a higher percent chance of getting a 3-star spark. It's still super unlikely. I think I've only gotten one 3-star spark, so not crossing my fingers or holding my breath on that one. But we are the URA final champion without any issue, and now we're going to go into our skill selection phase. The number one thing that we want to focus on during the skill selection phase is going to be purchasing skills that match our aptitudes, and this is going to be a thing anytime we're trying to get an A rank. So she has a lot of A aptitudes: sprint, mile, medium, and front. So we're going to go down to her skills and just look for any sprint, mile, mediums, or fronts, and especially if they have a discount, we will choose them. Sprint, front, corner recovery's got a good discount, so we'll take that. Maybe beneficial in the PvP, and it wasn't too expensive, so we got a lot of points here left over after purchasing the ones in our skills aptitudes, so we're just going to kind of purchase ones that look like they're good skills but also not completely overpriced. 240 for a gold, not bad at all. These are, 130, 120, 30% off. And we are going to be able to buy quite a few total here. 30% off. And I'm fine with that, so we'll go ahead and purchase those skills. We'll click the complete, and I don't have a calculator for this, so I can never guarantee, but I'm pretty sure we'll have no problem getting the A here. Excellent, and there it is. And pretty much cleared it without any issue. 11,000. 10,000 is the threshold, so 11,000 is not that close. We were able to get 2 wit stars, unfortunately. That is a bummer. Guess it's better than gut stars, but regardless, we will most likely never use this as a legacy UMA or anything like that. So here are my final stats. We have SS plus in speed, A in power, B plus in wit, and D in both stamina and guts. This is going to be my finale for the A rank run for Smart Falcon. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and let me know which UMA you would like to see a tutorial for next. You have a great day. Bye-bye.